I'm going to lead you through a very quick tutorial on how to do linked letters in Adobe Illustrator. And some of this is going to be how to set the screen up as well as how to actually do the linked letters part of the activity. So I'm going to start by going, as soon as you open up Adobe Illustrator, you'll go File, you'll go New, which will bring up this dialog box here. Then what I want you to do is to go across here to where it says Art and Illustration. Click on that. Then come down here, click millimeters, convert that to 200, convert this one to 200, and go Create, which will give us this white page here. Next, before we go any further, make sure that this top button up here, we click and it's automation that we want to click, not essentials, not a classic, whatever. We want automation, which will bring up something that oopsie, that actually looks something like, no, not that one. There's a whole stack of stuff will turn up here when you first do it. I then click on the little arrows on the side here, like that. Click on that and it will compress it into this side. That's the first thing with automation. The next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure we've got our toolbars right. So we need to go to Window and go to Workspace. That was automation. We need to come down, go to Toolbars and click Advanced, which will give you this toolbar, this extended toolbar over here on this side. Now, once we've got that up to speed, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our linked letters. Now, we click on the T. The T is for text. So we're going to drag out a big box, and it's going to come up with something which is normally Myriad Pro. If you don't have that, if you click on the character, it'll bring up this panel and it will show you what font you've got there. Okay. For me, I just click on this and away we go. Now, what you need to do is pick some sort of font that's at least a little bit loopy. It doesn't have to be full bore loopy like something like this one, but at least something that's going to give you something that's going to wrap over each other. And unfortunately, I've got 60,000 different types of fonts, so it's a bit hard for me to know what you have and what I have. But I'm going to use this Adophilus one as the example. So it's already on the screen. So the next thing I'm going to do is come to here and click on this and go 72 to make it as big as I possibly can to start. Then I'm going to go TS as my first two letters. Now, the font really makes no difference to what's going on here. Absolutely zero. Then, once I've done that, black arrow, and I click next to it, and then I highlight just the TS. I come to it, right click. That's two fingers on the bottom right-hand corner of your trackpad, and we go Create Outlines. Then we come here, we right click again, and we go Ungroup. Now, just before I do that, if you don't have right click on the bottom right hand corner of your trackpad, go to Apple, System Preferences, Trackpad, and make sure this secondary click is highlighted. On some, that's not highlighted, which means it won't work. So I right click, oops, what's going on there? No, that's all right. So I go right click on here, oops, highlight that again. Right click on here and I go Ungroup because I need to make them two separate items. Then I can grab the S and I can drag it out of the way. I can grab the T. Now, a little couple of tricks within any sort of Adobe product. Hold the Shift key down, and if I hold the Shift key down and drag the corner, my object stays in proportion. If I click on it and I just drag it sideways without it, it will pull it out of proportion. Oh, oops, I wanted to keep that in proportion. Command Z undoes my last steps. Simple as that. So I'm going to make this one a little bit out of proportion because I just can. And then I'm going to drag it down. I'm going to go, well, you know what? I could make that rotate. So if I just hover out here, can you see how it's turned into that little arrow on the corner of the blue box? And I can rotate that as well so I can make it go in some sort of other angle other than just straight. Then from there, I can just drag it across and set it across the T, just like that. I need to try and make sure that there's white space like this, and your S doesn't sort of sit something like that, because that does make it harder. So a little bit of white space there and there will make this job a whole lot easier. Then click away from it. So there's my T and my S. The next thing I'm going to do is go Command Shift D. That's Command next to the space bar, the Shift key, and D all at the same time. And it then removes the white background. Because what I want to do is I want to highlight the whole thing. I'm still in my black arrow. And then I want to come over here to my art palette and I want to click on white, which then turns the color off. While it's still highlighted, I will then go to Object, Path, Offset Path. Now, when I offset the path, I realistically only want to offset it just a little bit. So at the moment it's set at 1 millimeter. If I click the preview, it shows me that it's just a little bit. You can choose whether you want to make it bigger or smaller, but honestly, in the beginning, make it smaller. It's easier. And then go OK. It's made my letters a little bit fatter. But what it's actually done is it's selected the outside. So when I select the black, it'll then put the outline around the outside. Now, this is where we then get to the link letters part. So what I'm actually after is I want, now you can do this whichever way you want. I could pick this middle bit here and put it behind the T, or I can pick the top and the bottom and put them behind the T. Whichever you choose is up to you. Now remember, you can do this with the T and S, and you can do it with your own initials as well. Remember, the own initials, there's more marks for that as opposed to doing the TS, but you get to choose. So I'm going to start with this top one. So I'm going to click my black arrow out here, so on the checkerboard, so nothing is now selected. Now this is where the zoom becomes really important. Now what I want to do is I want to highlight the letter that I want to cut. So I need to pick the white. I pick the white to start with, always in the middle of where I'm going to cut. Now you can see there that the blue line touches the white but doesn't actually touch the black. But I need to select the black as well. So when I hold the Shift key down and I select the black, I've now selected the black and the white, which is really important if you're going to do this correctly. All right, to select the black and the white together. Then I'm going to come over here to the knife tool. Now if I don't have the knife tool, where the eraser tool is, I'll click on the little triangle on the bottom right hand corner and it will give me these three options. I select the knife. I then come over here, I hold the Option key down, which is 2 to the left of the spacebar. Option key down, click and drag straight down. And I've cut it through there. Come over here, Option key down, click, hold, drag it straight down. And I've cut it through those 2 points. Now, back to my black arrow, click on the checkerboard, I've deselected everything. Now I want to go back and reselect just the bit that I just cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the white. Now this is the tricky bit, the real key to this. At the moment I've only selected the white bit. I actually haven't selected the black outline as well. So again, I might just zoom in a bit. That little triangle there is the giveaway. So hold Shift key down and click on that little corner. Notice the blue box changed. Again, right click over the white, which then brings me this one where I want to go arrange, and I want to send that not backward, but I want to send it to the back. Bang, and away it goes. So now I can zoom back out again and the first part of the S is gone. Now, before I do anything else, I will go File, Save As, and I might call this TS linked letters, and I want to click here and I want to save it to my desktop. Okay, actually I might actually put in there dash right so it has a name attached to it as well, and I save that to my desktop because that I always want to save it now, because if something goes wrong I can come back to this point. Save. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom part of the S here. So again, I click on the white. I zoom in, not out. See how the black's missing here? Shift, click on the black. The knife, option, cut straight down. Option, cut straight down. All the option key does, it just means it cuts straight and not some curly line, by the way. That's all that does. Black arrow, click outside the box. I don't want to select anything anymore. Then I select inside the box. My little missing black pieces here again. Shift, click the black piece, or I could have clicked the one down here as well. So I've now selected the black and the white. Right click, arrange, send to the back. Zoom out, oops, not zoom in, zoom out, and click away. And there we have, where am I at? So come across, and so there is our TS. Now, if I wanted to actually laser cut my initials onto my box, the next step is I would go to Window and go down to Pathfinder. Now I already have Pathfinder over here, so I just click on Pathfinder. So still with my black arrow, I select the whole lot. I press this one, which is trim, which trims off lines behind and whatnot. And I then press this one, which is merge. So I'm making it all one image. Then I would go File, Save As, blah, 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 as before. And that will then create that I could actually take to the laser and laser etch into the underside of the lid or wherever I want to just put my initials. Okay, simple as that, but don't forget File, Save As, and save it to the desktop. That's the critical piece, because that way you can then drag it and put it into our Google Drive. If you have any other questions, email me, more than happy to help. See you later, righty out.